What's up, everybody? My name is Kiefer and welcome to Zenless Zone Zero. Now, the game just dropped, and so tonight we have a quick guide on each of the 5-star agents, what their strengths and weaknesses are, and whether or not you should re-roll your account after cashing in on the free pools at launch. Starting off, we have the furry king himself, Lycaon. Lycaon is your true fighting game character with fairly simple combos, but the ability to use quick attacks and charged attacks, giving you the fluidity to change the ebb and flow of combat. Not only that, but Lycaon is probably the best stun character in the game right now, with his different charged and basic attacks having different attack and dazed multipliers. He's probably the strongest character you can pull from the standard banner, and if you're planning on pulling for Ellen, I'd highly recommend building Lycaon, as the two of them are the core of their team. Plus, he's a wolf boy and this game has a very specific target demographic, so I will be building and making guides for all of those characters. Next up, we have Rina, who is probably the second best standard 5-star character for you to get at the start of the game. She is a sub DPS that does good off-field damage, as well as giving you a penetration ratio bonus, which allows you to straight up ignore defense. She also has a good anomaly buildup, which we'll cover a little bit more in depth with Grace, but these three elements, the off-field damage, penetration ratio, and anomaly buildup, already make her an incredibly powerful character. But like Lycaon, because she's a sub DPS, it means she likely won't be power crept for a while, making your investment in her worth it for longer. The only real downside to Rina is she is probably the most complicated out of the standard banner 5 stars, and you need to do a little bit more than just button mash to get the full value out of her, and so this might not be the best pick for someone who's just looking for a brainless mash the button game. Next is the mobility queen herself. Grace is an electro AoE DPS that stacks anomaly buildup insanely fast, but has a little bit more of an on-field playstyle than Rina. If you played Souls games before, anomaly works kind of like a status buildup in those games, where as you deal damage, you build up anomaly, and after reaching a threshold, will deal the corresponding anomaly debuff. As one of the only two anomaly focused characters in the game right now, Grace is a very appealing option for a starting character. I think at least for the early game she will be one of the best enablers. She fits really well into a lot of team comps as a flex character, and her anomaly buildup will allow for a lot of really interesting combos that I'm looking forward to seeing over the next few weeks. On top of all of that, her mobility means you're going to be spending less time focused on dodging and parrying, which means more time to cycle through your rotations. Following the trend of having 2 agents for the different playstyle niches, Koleda is our second daze focus character, rivaling Lycaon's output fairly well, having an enormous daze multiplier, especially if paired with Ben, and the easiest combos in the game. If you're here for button mashing big numbers, Koleda is probably the best character for you. Her combos have stun multipliers, meaning that rotating through her combos correctly results in way higher daze damage, which is great news because her combo is literally just 4 attacks and then a special attack. Overall, I think these 3 agents are the best, and I'd be happy pulling any of them. It's also worth noting that, like Honky Starbucks, after your first 300 standard banner pulls, you get a standard banner selector, and I'd recommend picking Lycaon if you haven't pulled him yet by that point. Moving on to our last 2 characters, neither of them are bad, nor will pulling them brick your account in any way, especially if you really like the characters. However, these 2 are probably my least favorite of the standard 5 stars, but they are the other 2 main DPS agents. First up is Nekomata, who is an assault character. Assault is an anomaly ability that will damage an enemy for a percentage of their health rather than using the damage formula. We'll use Elden Ring as the example again. It's literally the same thing as bleed buildup. You build it up until you hit the threshold, and once you hit the threshold, it will do a percentage based chunk of damage, which is usually a lot higher than anything you can do with your standard attacks. Now, I want to again reiterate that me not liking Nekomata is fully a design-based choice because her assault anomaly is pretty cracked. I'm sure we'll get better assault characters in the future, but right now, Nekomata is your best option, and dealing a percentage of your enemy's health as damage will shred through big spongy enemies, making her probably the best main DPS out of the standard 5-star character. Lastly, we have Soldier 11, the pyro-wielding sword user who, like Lycaon, feels a lot like a character designed for fighting game players. Her combos are a little bit more complicated and are very timing based. If you're good at having a rhythm based playstyle and timing things properly, she is super satisfying to play. I think she's probably the weakest agent that you can pull from the standard banner because she will almost assuredly be power crept by the new units we get over the next couple of patches. However, she is more than capable out of the choices we have right now, and I think she's probably the closest you'll get to a fighting game experience. Overall, I'm really liking the game so far, and I'm really looking forward to finishing it. I'll probably have it finished in the next day or two. I won't pretend to be good at fighting games, but I've played a lot of them, and ZZZ seems like it's taking a lot of my favorite fighting game mechanics and kind of merging them with a gacha mechanics that I'm addicted to, which is creating a nice dopamine cycle for a side game. It's literally exactly what I was expecting. There is basically zero depth to the combat whatsoever, and it is 99% just clicking, and there is a little bit of endgame content, so we'll see once I get there how difficult that really is, but I'm still not expecting all that much. Maybe over the next couple patches we'll see a spike in difficulty, but again, I'm really not expecting too much from this game. I know there were a couple YouTubers marketing it as if it was going to be this complex fighting game, but let's be real, it's a Hoyo game. I was expecting Genshin Impact, but not open world, and so because it's not open world, to have better animations, better graphics, and that's exactly what this game is. I'm super excited to see what the community for the game ends up looking like. I think the artist community is going to go crazy in this game, especially the R34 artists, but I'm looking forward to see what will happen with this game. When this video is uploaded, I will be live on the Kaifer TV channel, and I'll have a Let's Play uploaded there once we finish the main story as well. So make sure you check out that channel for the streams and the Let's Plays. If you enjoyed the guide, make sure you like and subscribe. I will be making in-depth character guides for most of the characters in this game. I have a couple of Wuthering Waves character guides on the way for Jinshi and Jian, so make sure you subscribe for that. But thank you so much for watching. I will see you next time.